Is that you, Zapper? Is that you? Are you gonna pull out a dick move to DC everyone? Oh, I have also croissant here. I just got my fucking coffee, my croissant. Man, this was intentional. No way they disconnected us at the same time. We all got disconnected at the same fucking time. It's not the layer. Honestly, you know what it was? Oh, you played so many hours, we're gonna DC you so others can play. I'm not kidding. It must be that way. It can't be anxiety first, and then us. Well, fuck then! They could fucking fix it! It's one thing to sit in queue, it's another thing to get disconnected. This is not my internet. They all got disconnected at once. It's one thing to get a warning to say, oh, you're on a full server, you might experience queues. That's one. And it's another to say, we're gonna kick you out of the server. It's not a random fucking DC, man. It's just they're kicking people out so others can go in. You see what I'm talking about? It's a difference between I'm making a character on a full server and it says, oh, it's full, you know, well, you're gonna wait in queue. Fine, I'm gonna do that, and I did that. I was waiting in queue, but I got in. Don't fucking kick me out, because this was a kick out. This is pretty much the waiter bringing you the bill, telling you the restaurant is, you know, it's off. And you see around the restaurant is not off. It's just they don't want you anymore there because other people want to come in it. Fuck you, I paid. You're not gonna kick me out. This is not 2 hours of sleep. This is me sleeping as much as a fucking bear. I'm not mad at you, I'm just mad at... Fuck! No, the thing is, if there is a queue pivot, what did they say? They said there is a queue. Fine, I did sit the queue in. And then I stayed on because I don't want to get out of the queue. But I'm sitting there in the game. You don't randomly disconnect me to get new people in. If you do that, please give me a warning that you can play up to 18 hours straight. Right? You see what I'm saying? Tell me. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. You can tell me that you want other people to play and after 18 hours you're gonna get this in. Tell me that. You just tell me that. Right? I'm not stupid. What's happening here? Just tell me you can play up to 18 hours, up to 12 hours. Tell me that. I'm gonna get a fucking second account, queue it up, and level another character. Tell me. The thing is, they want to make as much money as possible, man. I can't even have my coffee because I have to sleep now. No pivot except 2-3 realms. See what I'm saying, Synkex? They disconnect us intentionally. This is not an error. This is kick out. At least make it so people like you, right, to play a certain time before they get DC. Imagine what Rudesk says, a medium server with 25-minute queue. Do you guys remember any time in vanilla that a medium server had 25-minute queue? You're right, Nixon, you should be mad. No, you should be mad. Because if they wanna do control kicks from the server, they should let us know, and people who played only 15-40 minutes, not like me who I was playing 12 hours. But they shouldn't do it to people who didn't play enough. Am I unreasonable here? Tell us. Give everyone 12 hours. But still, Nix, we're talking about a medium server. Right, I'm sorry, I'm not yelling at you, right? Or to anyone. We're talking about a medium server. How can a medium server have 30 minutes queue? Right? It's like going into a train station saying it's half empty. You go in and you're like, wait a sec, I cannot get in, it's full. That's the point of the medium. I don't imagine a server that has a medium population to be 25-30 minute queue. It's ridiculous. I know it's not only Geras. Why am I upset? Because I don't have another option. They knew exactly. They knew this will happen. Not just they knew that this will happen, Nix. You know what? Not that they knew it. They knew that their layers crash constantly. On stay saves, I said that their layers were crashing with 2 raids. 2 raids? Can you imagine a 40-man alliance, 40-man horde, and a layer crashed 3 times? They said layer is a new technology. They obviously have not perfected it. There is no grace period. Guys, how can there be no grace period? I've never heard that before. Thank you. They should make it simple. Why did they implement a technology that's new and they obviously haven't done enough tests? The first set of layering, complete failure. They had to repeat that test, right? And even the last stress test they did, it was a failure. It was a failure. The layers were not being created. Because they don't do experimental layer shit, Nixon. A server has a capacity. Let's say Northtail has a 20,000 capacity. Right? 20,000 people will go in. That's it. There's no layer crashing and all this complication technology. Right? It's like we bought a coffee machine and there was the same model, double the price, but it has a bunch of extra patterns and programs on it. You know what the guy says? If you buy this, there's a higher chance that this will break. There's more gadgets, more sensitive technology on it. And it's true! The more shit there is on something, the more chance that something will go wrong. So instead of putting a huge ass server, right, they just went to do the whole layering thing. And I get it, but it was premature. Let's not forget that they ended the beta server. They ended the beta server one week earlier because they didn't have time to work on the latest stress test. They ended it 1 week earlier, and then they postponed the stress test 1.5 weeks. So that was a gap of 2.5 weeks of extra time to work on the stress test, to see how many servers they're gonna put up. Right? Did they? No, they just randomly put 2 PvP servers. Nostarius had 2 PvP servers and it could barely hold. And it was 2 unofficial servers. Nostarius PV and Nostarius PvP, remember those? And they were full. 2 Nostarius. Blizzard comes and gives 2 choices. 2? You know what they did? They wanted to give more, but because they split the other servers into German and French, they thought, you know, English need less. But they fucked up with the German amount, with the French amount. Why didn't they do research? I'm gonna say something that I said earlier. If I wanna have a party at home, I said, Mom, it's my birthday, I wanna have my friends over. My mom, okay. First question she asked, how many people are you bringing over? If I say I don't know, my mother will get mad. Because she will be like, how much food will we buy? How many pizzas will we order? Do we have enough chairs for people to sit down? How many drinks do we need? And it's a damn party of a teenager, and my mom already asked me 5 questions as to how to prepare for the party, which is not even serious and people are not actually paying for it to get there. Right? My mom is asking that. Now, why did Blizzard did not do some research a survey, send an email. I got a fucking email on my phone from Blizzard telling me buy this shitty mount from BFA, subscribe for 6 months and get the mount. When they send me a mail that, oh, Classic is coming out, be sure to let us know if you're going to play. Just a small survey, 1 minute, yes, no. At launch, just get an idea of all those accounts. What are they going to do? You send me the fucking mount. You send me the mount, right? The advertisement. Could you not send me about the Classic? Could you not tell me? Ask me? Give me 2 options. You wanna play Classic WoW? Yes. No. Are you gonna play on launch night? Yes. No. I'm 18, Lucifer. Sorry for yelling, guys, but this is I'm yelling for all of you. I'm like gathering all your voices now through my voice, and I'm just yelling. This is dumb as fuck. So I'm gathering your voices because I know how much you are. I know how much you're resisting to go full cups right now. Go full cups. You want that. I know. And I'm glad that you are more restrained than I am. Tweet what? Do you think they don't know? Do you think they don't know sport? Look at them, they panic at the office. Oh, 2 English PvP servers. Oh, let's add a 3rd one. Oh, let's add a 4th one. Oh my god, we're in deep shit. Let's add 4 more. That's what happened. That's what happened. Panic at the office. But who's gonna last minute change their plans? Who last minute will decide to change the server? You know how long it takes to establish where a guild goes? Like my dreams, it took them like a long time to see where they're going. It's important. So let's sum this up, okay? Let's sum this up. Give me a second. Let me sum this up a bit. This amount of queue will take you about, how much time do you think? 8 hours? Right? How much? No. 4 or 5 hours it was the 11,000. Yesterday 11,000 on the server, it took me 4.5 hours. 4 hours and 20 minutes. The 11.2.3. Okay? Alright, you're right. Let's say anything between 5 and 8 hours. I'm gonna go with 5 because I'm just gonna take the minimum. Right? Let's go with 5. So I was denied the past less than 24 hours, almost 10 hours of game. What the fuck? If Blizzard needs money, I can pay €1 extra not to have this. And not just me, other people have been, yeah, you're right, other people have been more in queue than in the game. They're much worse people than I am. I'm just giving you a normal example. Yeah, and then kill Yaku. They just throw 5 servers at the end and then 6, 7. Yeah, we did indeed an assist, but I think I played more and that's... Yeah, look at what for 20 and many of you. 9 hours. 9 hours and it's not been 24 hours yet. And the rest in queue. Yeah, because it has money with subscriptions, right, Kaza? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Zerk. It feels like that, war pun. It feels like that. Look at GPUs, man. 8 hours! Classic out for 18 hours and 30 minutes. Yeah, that's the problem. They started with 2 servers and they slowly added up, but people established where they want to go. They started making logos, they started talking with their friends, oh, we're going here, we're going there. Then another server, oh, yeah, okay, we're going here, we're going there. And then people won't just keep jumping from server to server to server. People are a creature of habits. If only they would send an email with a simple survey, we could avoid this. Yeah, thank you, Jinx. But I don't know who said that. I don't know if it's real or not. I don't think Blizzard will admit that. Because you can sue them, actually. You can actually sue them for this. If they admit that they are actually kicking you out of the game without a warning. Yeah, it does feel like that, Jinx. It does feel like that. But I'm not, like, I don't have facts. Yeah, that's actually what Lucifer said. Blizzard told everyone to move from the full service to fire more. That server has the biggest queues of them all now. Yeah. I'm on Gehenna's PvP, Zerk. And I did get the warning from Blizzard that I will have long queues, but it's one thing to have long queues, and it's another thing to get intentionally disconnected. Yeah, true. No, I don't think they care, Riff. I don't think they care. No, I know, they don't care. Exactly, Mortimus, and thank you for saying that. It's one thing to be in queue, right? It's another thing to kick the other guy who's already in, regardless how long it took them to get in. This is a major company with another major company behind it. Activision, one of the biggest companies out there. Which should be the opposite, right, GPUs? Yeah, Fireball is completely fucked. No, you don't get queued from queue for inactivity, but the chances by 8 hours maybe your internet goes down a bit. Back then Blizzard was trying to make the game happen. Now this they didn't seem to try to make the game happen really. They put a very small developer team, which actually announced that we're not sure if we're gonna complete fixing all the bugs. They out of nowhere they brought classic beta. You know how this game felt to me? You know how this game felt to me? A very soft launch. People were saying, oh my god, I'm gonna wait 3 months to play classic. Then you play classic beta, maybe you play stress test, and then you play again classic beta before the launch. It didn't feel exciting. You saw it so much on your streams the past 3 months that people got tired of it. When I told some people at Gamescom that Classic is launching, they thought it was a beta. They thought, oh, the beta is opening again? Really? They thought the beta... it's this... How many times you have to open the stress and the beta and still fail? I don't think I'm not going to conspiracy theories. I don't want to go into conspiracy theories. I know that I got a warning from Blizzard, right? That there will be huge queues. I said fine, I'm okay with that. I can wait 8 hours. But don't kick me out when I don't want to be kicked out. Yeah, I remember that, Julius. I remember that. I'm so mad right now. And I hope Blizzard sees my rant as how much I love the game. Right? And how much... And don't tell me you can predict it. My mom asks me how many guests I want to bring at home for my birthday party. It's not the first time you're launching this. I don't know if they relied on Nostalgia's survey, which happened like what, 4 or 5 years ago? I hope they didn't rely on that. Oh yeah, 100,000 people signed the survey. 130,000 people will play entire Europe. Split them in a few servers. Did they really think that we don't like the game, that we wouldn't want to play the game? No one knows, sir. No one knows. It's there is smoke, Jinx. There is smoke. Definitely. It's suspicious. But that's another topic of discussion at Chasu. I'm talking that Blizzard could have prevented it. This is not a new game. This is not a new game. Imagine now sending out a game. There is a new game that I'm making. It's called Dustin the Dog, and I'm sending 1 million people the question, will you play the game Dustin the Dog? Right? People don't know the game, it's a new game. They don't know what to answer. I don't know. Is it a good game? This game they know. People know the game. They could easily ask the question. You see what I'm saying? If it's a new game, it's really hard to predict it. The same with Apex Legends. When Apex Legends first launched, the servers were lagging, but everyone could understand because there was so much hype. Respawn, EA Games, they couldn't predict it that it would blow up so much. Right? It's one thing. Same with World of Warcraft. Back then, they couldn't predict it. Because I'm leveling with my guild, Zitera. I'm leveling with my guild. I wanna be with my guild in Molten Core, in Ragnaros, not come back to my guild in Phase 4, Phase 5, or even Phase 4, Phase 5 when the server transfers will happen. I wanna play with my guild, and I don't mind waiting the damn queue. I wait getting kicked intentionally with my friends simultaneously. And they didn't even... The thing is, they didn't say layers are crashing, we're fixing this. Your Elite 3 is right, there's no such thing as a dead server. The servers are huge. Oh no, I wanna bring up an interview. I just remember something. I just remembered something. I just remembered something. No. Bear with me, please. Bear with me, please, please. Listen. Wait, you can't hear what it's saying. Wait, you couldn't hear what it's saying. Could you hear?
Notice that the cues are
Sorry. Why didn't no one said something? Why didn't you say something? Listen.
along that from one server to the other along that path, and you won't see it in sequence.
So like a couple.
It's fine. It's fine.
I was just gonna say, as for queues, sharding, roam, all that stuff, I am interested to see like what those are. We have the ability, if we notice that the queues are very high and demand is very high for Classic WoW, that we can open up additional realms if we need to.
Okay.
And we're prepared to do that. That's something that we've made that mistake once in 2004, right? We did not have enough. We don't want to repeat that again.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we're serving our players the best. End goal really is we want to make sure Classic WoW players have a healthy realm population when in the steady state.
Yeah. Okay, so now let me ask you this. If you open new realms or just things die down 8 months down the road,
have a healthy realm population when in the steady state.
yeah. Okay, so okay.
And we're prepared to do that. That's something to say. As for queues, sharding, roam, all that stuff, I am interested to see like what those are. We have the ability, if we notice that the queues are very high and demand is very high for Classic WoW, that we can open up additional realms if we need to.
Okay.
And we're prepared to do that. That's something that we've made that mistake once in 2004, right? We did not have enough. We don't want to repeat that again.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we're
So, they didn't want to repeat the same thing, but they didn't have enough servers. Yes, but what I'm getting at, Smork, they are prepared to open new realms, and they did open new realms, but not enough, not fast enough. There's a big difference. When they changed it, because they changed it, they changed some values here. This is medium, this is high, this is not true. 2 days ago or 1 day ago, Smoke, all this was high and full. They changed something to not appear high and full. Right? They changed something for them not to appear high and full after the reset. The medium servers are full. You see what I'm trying to say? They just changed the stats. Yeah, but when a server is full, Avidu, sir, the part of full, I get the high, I get the medium, I get the low. Yes. Yes, but not the full. Because those servers were full. That's what I'm trying to say. I know it's relative. All is relative. I know that. Right. But those servers yesterday were called full. Full. That means they were full. I'm getting a glass. And I fill it up. It's full. It's no way that can be misinterpreted. It's full. Now they changed the name. They changed the way they describe that state of the server. Right? They just removed the word full and they left the more subjective. Right? I mean, I can try. Smoke, which server did you try to get in? Which server did you try to get in? I just want to test it. Which medium server? No offense, I'm not trying to pick a fight or anything. I just want to see which server is medium and doesn't have a queue. All right. Ashbringer is a new server. Huh, 2.8k. All right. Brand new server, by the way. Flame Lash. Medium. 8.5k. Wow. Well, good thing it's medium. Gundling. Almost 5k. Let's continue. Mirage Raceway. Even normal medium server. PvE. 5.1k. No. Nether Gatekeeper is one of the lowest as far as I heard. Right. 650. One of the lowest. That's the one that I heard. Which is not really cool, right? That's one of the lowest, by the way, the Nether Gatekeeper, as far as I heard. 6k. Like, I knew that Nethergate is one of the lowest. Pyrowood Village. Medium, by the way. 5.9k. Razor Gore. Razor Gore is a medium with 10,000 Q. They changed the value sport to make it look better. This is a medium server. This is a medium. You know what? I understand the concept. You know, when you're my father, when I was a kid, he's wearing a medium t-shirt. But when you put it on a kid, it looks like a dress dragged around the floor and clearing up the floor and picking up all the dust. That's the relation here. It's medium size, just not. Let's say Stone Spire PvP, a new server, by the way. This one, 3.2k. Shall I keep going? Zandalar Tribe RP PvP medium. I mean, how low can you go? 5.6k. An RP server medium is 5.5. I'm gonna keep going, by the way, because I'm not the person who's not gonna show you everything. Dreadmist PvP, brand new. I don't know the name. I just heard it. Dreadmist. Let's see. Hopefully it's instant. It's low. It's empty. Oh! I can get in. Okay. Okay. How about the next one? Hydraxian Waterlords RP instant. So only I can play the game. I can either play RP or PvP Dreadmist. Now, that means the PvE servers don't have. But what I'm trying to say now is that if we add all the, if Blizzard wants us to go to these realms, if I add all the queues of these realms, no. If I add all the queuers, because they're filling it up, if I add all the queuers of these realms, follow me here. If I add all the fuel, all the people who queue up, if I add them, the PvP, can we do this? Is anyone here good at math? Is anyone here good at math? Okay, help me here, please. Okay, help me here. 216, actually it's at 21,000. So 216 anyway. 216,000.6. 16.6. Write it down. Alright. No, write it down. Plus 23.5k. You did it? Alright. Copella is doing math now. Plus 22.6. Is someone doing the math here? I hope you do the math. Plus 15.3k. Plus 23.1k. I'm being lenient. I'm cutting numbers, by the way. Plus 2.8k. No. Let me keep going here. Plus 8.6k. Plus 5k. I'm being lenient. I'm toning it down. Only PvP servers, by the way. Plus 6.1k. No, 5.3 it said now. Okay, 5.3. 5.3. By 2 minus, whatever, 800. Plus 10.1k. It dropped out a bit because we had Q before, right? So 9.2. Put the 9.2. Put 9.2. Because we were Q before, so it catch the Q, right? And 3.3k. How much case do we have? Tell me. We have 135k. So those people at 135, which I'm very lenient about the numbers, would roll all of them on Dread Mist. Because there's queue. Tell me what's gonna happen. No, I didn't forget. We're talking about English PvP servers. Right? I'm not gonna complicate this thing. People are English. So, this 130... I'm gonna say 130. If this 130,000 people would go on Dread Mist PvP, because Blizzard complains that we're not moving elsewhere. But how are we not moving elsewhere if all these servers are actually in queue? If all those servers roll now on the lowest PvP server, because they don't want to appear on a P server, it's basically over. It's over. This server will... I don't know cold scenes, but I'm sure if 130,000 people queue up on Dread Mist, there will be probably a 50,000 queue. Greetings, everyone. I'm yelling. I'm not yelling at you. I'm extremely upset because we just listened to this. And I'm gonna play it again. Are we listening?
Wow, that we can open up additional realms if we need to.
Okay.
And we're prepared to do that. That's something that we've made that mistake once in 2004, right? We did not have enough. We don't want to repeat.
No.
Let's
listen to this again.
For classic WoW, that we can open up additional realms if we need to.
Okay.
And we're prepared to do that. That's something that we've made that mistake once in 2004, right? We did not have enough. We don't want to repeat that again.
Okay.
So we want to make sure that we're serving our players.
Because I'm being lied to, Zerk. I'm being lied to. These are not medium servers. Kalo, this is not about me. You misunderstand me. This is I don't know if you just joined in, but we just did the math. And there are 135,000 people currently in English PvP queues. 135,000 people. This is not about me. This is if all those people roll on Dread Mist, there will be more than 50,000 people in queue. Kalo. This is not about me. I probably played this game more than anyone. There is no space for people to go to. Hello, how is this about me? Yeah, I'm talking. I'm on the Ash cursor, sending it out. Yeah, and what happened to Mograine? Tell me. Where is Mograine? What happened to Mograine, Carlo? Are you gonna switch again to Dread Mist now? Yeah, but that's not the point. It doesn't matter where you play. That's the point. Carlo. It has nothing to do. So your guild switched here, so? So what? What changed? About 130, no, this is 15,000. About over 100,000 people, over 130,000 people, over 130,000 people are actually in queue on PvP realms currently, with the exception of Dread Mist. And I'm asking you, if all those people switch to Dread Mist, what will happen to Dread Mist? Clearly, Lord Crystallos. Clearly. Because they didn't ask, and I'm gonna tell the people who come in. I go to my mother, 16 years old, Lezonta, goes to mommy, mommy lasagna, and says, Mommy, I wanna have a party, it's my birthday party, I wanna invite my friends. First question my mom asks, how many people are you bringing? First question! To know how many drinks, to know how many seats, to know how many everything. So the guests, who by the way don't pay anything, for the guests who don't pay anything, will have enough. Now, for someone who is actually paying, right? Who is actually paying, did not bother to ask because they have your email address. I'm sure you got the email that said 6 months. If you subscribe for 6 months, you're gonna get a very nice BFA mount. You remember that, right? You remember that, right? Everyone got this email that ever played on WoW. I got this email. I was actually during Classic Beta and I thought I would accept it in Beta. I was debated. Everyone got this email. How hard is to send this email with a survey to ask 2 simple questions? Will you play Classic? Yes, no. And if yes, will you play on launch? Because some EU will say I don't have time to play. You got this email. You got this email, but you did not get the email about the survey to ask how many people will play. And worst case scenario, even if 20% of people would lie at the survey, you wouldn't fall out so much in your calculations. It's one thing to have this awesome vanilla experience, Zerk. The difference is that this is not a new game. People know the game. People know if they're gonna play this game or not. Yes, I see what you're saying, and Apobra, hello. I see what you're saying. The problem is, even if we add these people up in the queue, because I'm sure, yeah, they won't be enough. What Vekaman said is true. What first MC will be random 40 people who manage to dodge the queue. Well, let's check. Let's check, Luis. Let's check about an A. Can I check about an A? I know I can see the realms. We don't know how many servers because people don't see it in Q's code since we don't know. I mean, they have way more low servers. Okay, I don't have an active subscription. I don't have an active, so I can't see that. But people wouldn't know if they're gonna keep playing. It's hard to know if you're gonna keep playing. Right. It's hard to know that. I'm sorry about my tone of voice. I'm extremely upset. And I know it's arrogant of me to assume to hold the baton of the community and assume that I'm representing the community, but I'm sure many of you will share my emotions, right? I feel that from the chat. I haven't heard anyone say Blizzard did it perfectly. We're sharing the same. We're in the same pot here, right? We're in the same pot. And again, if it was a new, if it was a new game, and again, Apex Legends, it was a new game that took EA Games by storm, right? And the servers lagged remember that, for those who played Apex Legends. The servers were lagging. It was unexpected. Right? Because you couldn't ask, will you play Apex Legends? People would be like, what's Apex Legends? Before the release. But this is a game that's been out. People know the game. They know what they're gonna do with this game. Surrealism, please don't. No need for the R word, please. Thank you. It's against. I'm gonna delete your comment. I'm not gonna ban you or time you out. We are all very passionate. It's against the terms of services to use the R word. Mental health. Just so you know. I'm not gonna judge someone that I'm so pissed and yelling for 1 minute. Just I have to. Yeah. On Gehennas, I don't know, man. Nah, it's longer. Just before I had the queue and it 21,000. And we didn't add these numbers. Well, Apobra, thank you so much for the tier 1. I appreciate it. Thank you, Classic. Thank you. I know Tercel Power. I know, guys, and I've been here, and maybe I get punished. Blizzard would say, "Oh, Lezonta is speaking up. He speaks up against us," but that's not what I'm doing. I'm trying to wake you up. People love the game. It should be a compliment what's happening here. We're passionate about the game. We love it. I did not use insults. I used strong language, yes. I hope Blizzard doesn't see it as me trying to get attention or anything. This is not what I'm doing. This is not what I'm doing. This is how many people in the chat right now. Say plus in the chat if you're frustrated and you agree with what I'm feeling. Just say plus in chat. No, I'm not kidding. We're not alone. We're not alone. I'm not alone. You're not alone. Yes. Yes, Klamahe. We're not alone. Exactly. I didn't offer a solution. I gave a. I'm not a mastermind dehumanizer. I'm not working and being paid to think how a game server will. You see what I'm saying? If you ask me, my job was to write papers for literature. If I would fuck up a paper, would that sell? Will that be published? No. That was my job. They have another job. They are experts in their field. It's Blizzard. It's Activision. You see the difference between... you can't compare us. I'm not assuming expertise, but I'm saying a simple survey, a simple time, a bigger development team. Right? I'm not gonna sit at the table and tell you all the answers. I don't have all the answers. No one has all the answers. That's why there are teams that do that. right? There are teams that do that. Seven minutes. Um, so what's up? What happened here? Let's listen. That's it? Okay, I'm gonna read it. Okay, how long is this? You wanna read this? Or is it this one? Warcraft layering and realm queues. Is it this one? Is it the next article? Please explain why medium focus. I don't care about that. Okay, the first one up. Okay, let's have a sit and read it. Okay, guys. Gather up around. Gather around. No popcorn. If you chew with popcorn, you can't hear what I'm saying or what Blizzard is saying. That's what happens to me when I chew popcorn. All right. No. Okay. All right. Warcraft Classic, layering and realm queues. Ion Hajikostas explains why you are waiting to log in. The demand for space on World of Warcraft Classic servers, which launched tonight at 6 p.m. Eastern Time, has been overwhelming. Fans of the nearly 15-year-old game have been creating characters like mad since last week, reserving their names and a shot at recapturing the nostalgia of playing the game as it was close to its launch. There is no upfront cost to Classic. If you have an active World of Warcraft subscription, you own it. So the barrier to those wanting to take a gander at the game, whether they stay or not, is very low. Now, you don't own it. If we own it, we could actually do whatever we want with it, like play a private server. We don't really own it. What happened in Copelia? Okay. As a result, nearly every server at launch was reading full before the game even began. And Blizzard's been posting increasingly plaintive notes asking about people, and let me change my as a result and we have been posting increasingly plaintive notes asking people to move off ultra full servers where streamers or popular communities have taken up residence to newer, lower population servers. Realistically, WoW Gamer Director Ion Hajikostas told Forbes the population is going to drop dramatically after the tourists leave and the committed WoW Classic players settle in for the long haul. To deal with that disparity, the company is using layering, which creates multiple copies of the entire world of Azeroth to hold people in the short term. I caught up with Ion Hajikostas for an extended interview about those realm login queues, the reasons for layering and how it works. This is the first part of the interview, talking specifically about why you're probably waiting in queue, in login queue right about now. Welcome, can we get you a cup of coffee and a few good stories to read while you wait? Heather Newman, why use layering? Ion Hajikostas, to be clear, we don't view layering as an improvement to the classic experience. We're not saying that, man. We wish we had layering back in 2006. It would have made it so much better, but now we have it, so let's do this. What? Layering is the lesser of several evils by a large margin. That I can agree with. That's in. It can be the lesser evil of other things. It can be. We're trying to manage long-term healthy population of this service around a unique sort of game launch. Definitely unique. There is no box that you have to buy on a shelf in retail store for an outlay of dollars. We are opening this world up to millions of people, many of whom are just going to want to check it out as a matter of curiosity. There are others who've been waiting for this clearly for years and they are in as can be. But they are all going to be there contending for the same server space on day one. Newman, why not just open up more servers? Hajikostas, we are fairly sure, we can't know for sure without being fortune tellers, but most of them align. There would be fairly steep drop-off compared to that day one interest, and we want to make sure, because of how important communities in Classic in particular, that we have healthy server populations. That's why we're not jumping to, hey, let's just open dozens and dozens of servers. We have the ability to do that. This isn't about limiting costs or available hardware or anything like that. We could do that easily if we wanted to, actually much more easily than having complicated tech like layering. But where would that leave us down the line is with underpopulated servers that we have to start looking at merging or offering transfers from them to other servers to get back down in population. That's tremendously disruptive to communities and something we really, really want to avoid. Guys, that the keyword is not here. Where is the keyword? Here. We could easily do that if we wanted to. Actually, much more easily than having keyword. Complicated tech like layering. So they put a complicated tech that they didn't test enough, that keeps crashing. If we believe that it's not intentional. Complicated tech. It's complicated. So no testing, no good testing, and all of a sudden it's on the live So why not just raise the number of people on the realm? Just raising the realm caps without any additional tech, at some point you run into just client-server performance issues, but raw gameplay issues in terms of contention over finite spawn points in a world where mobs tap to the first person who hits them. When you have 800 people in Northshire Abbey, 2,000 people in Northshire Abbey, if you can imagine that, that's a miserable experience for everybody all around. So there are problems we are trying to avoid. And Lezonta continues. When you have 800 people in queue, when you have 2,000 people in queue, if you can imagine that, that's a miserable experience for everybody all around. Oh wait, that's not what it says here. Let me rephrase this. When you have 8,000 people in queue, 20,000 in queue, if you can imagine that, that's a miserable experience for everybody all around. Newman, will there be 2,000 people in the human starting area in Northshire Abbey? Hajikostas. There will be that many people and more in every Northshire Abbey and Valley of Trials on Monday. We're not trying to make that better, we're trying to fit even more people into the server without making utterly untenable. And the reason why we're doing that is that down the line, and not too far down the line, once the initial rush has passed, we are left with long-term stable, healthy communities that can support raid kills and PvP across both factions, and folks that are going to progress into Blackwing Lair and Anki Rush and Naxxramas and all the rest. Layering is a solution that allows us in short term to run multiple copies of Azeroth as a whole, and there will be several Azeroths running in parallel on our Beacon realms on launch day. Newman, how does that work from the player perspective once you've gotten past the realm queues and locked in? I wouldn't know. Okay. Hajugostas. We designed this system to be invincible as possible. Not that people disappear. When you log in, you are placed in a layer. The other people around you are also in that layer, and you will stay in that layer for as long as you remain online playing WoW. But that's not true. And you stay in that layer for as long as you remain online. That's not true. You can hop layers. So if you have this 3-hour long... Has anyone ever played WoW before? This is retail hours, not... So if you have this 3-hour long gameplay session on the first night, that priest that you ran into Northshire Abbey when you were level 3, now he's level 5. It's quite likely you're going to run into them an hour later, so we're in 2 hours. And now we're okay. As you're trying to get candles back from kobolds, and maybe a couple of hours later, wow, in Westfall, if both of you haven't locked off. Because you are all in the same world as each other, you're never going to experience walking across the zone boundary and seeing people around you vanish. I did see that. Or seeing spawns move around. I did see that. Indeed, the only way to switch layers is to accept a party invite from somebody else who's in a different layer. And once you move, that's your new layer, and you're going to stay there for the rest of your gameplay session. At least he ain't going into details, I get that. It's the entirety of Azeroth, so it's not 3 Westfalls and 2 Elwynds, it's 3 Azeroths, 4 Azeroths. Newman, how quickly will you be dropping the number of layers, do you think? Hajugostas, we actually expect fairly aggressively to reduce the number of layers that are running even after the first couple of days. Well, 1 day is by. 1 day has gone by. Almost. So tomorrow is the deadline. Once the population spread out around the world and people aren't all in those handfuls of starting zones, so we'll be able to have even half as many layers as we did initially, with the goal just a few weeks into launch as we go to phase 2 of having all layers stable and having a single layer for each realm at the end state. I don't believe that for a second. Does anyone believe that for a second? A few weeks into launch? No layers? Plus if you believe it, minus if you don't believe it in chat. Plus if you believe, minus if you don't believe it. Alright, that's what I thought. For a moment I thought I was crazy. Newman, how do you do without shutting a layer down on the lone person on it who's still playing? Is that what's happening to us? Is that what's happening to us? Shutting down a layer down on the lone player? I wasn't alone though. We will do that with nightly restarts or periodic restarts, the same thing we do for maintenance or picking up hotfixes, that will over time, we think very quickly, we think even probably a couple of days in, raise the population targets for each layer. As people spread out, that will reduce the number of layers that are created. That's a process we monitor and very actively, with the desire to have at any given point in time as few layers as necessary to support the population that we're seeing, with the eventual goal of having that number be 1. No one will have a layer be destroyed out from under them. What? I got just kicked out. For whatever reason. Maybe it's not layering. I got kicked out. By Blizzard. Not by my machine. Everyone simultaneously from across the world, they were kicked out. One from Eastern Europe, one from Canada, one from Germany, and one from France. How is this experience different than the original vanilla Warcraft launch? Hadjugostas. There is a lot of unique phenomena about the launch of a game like this in 2019. When Classic launched for the first time in 2004, even then things weren't quite this bad. See what I'm trying to say? We had midnight releases of physical box products, people coming home in waves, people didn't have the game pre-installed ready to log in and play on day one, they were waiting for things to come in the mail the next day. Even on the most crowded servers, you didn't have literally everyone logging in the first second. We expect we are going to have thousands and thousands and thousands of people per server trying to log in that initial second, and that requires much more aggressive layering that we can then back away from. Agree, that's definitely, it's way more challenging. That's actually true. That's actually true. So how difficult is it going to be really to get into some one of those overcrowded realms? Our realm counts are as high as we feel we can push them for long-term social community reasons. We have the technical ability to raise them further than we are, but we are not doing that because if we let all those people into the server day one, we think you'd have a very hard time being able to actually run a single layer at a time. We need to run on a single layer before you move on phase 2 of our content. We talk about login servers. Fingers crossed here, and I hope saying this isn't something I regret, but we feel pretty good about the technical capacity of getting people into our servers in terms of the authentication process. Things like our pre-launch stress tests and prior testers were also largely aimed at exercising the process to make sure we have enough hardware to back end to support the rush people that were going to be there in the first minute. Yeah, no, they're right. You are through the authentication server. That's like being able to enter the restaurant before getting in queue for food. You can enter the restaurant, there's plenty of space, but there is a huge queue for food. There is space. I'm not gonna kick you out in the rain. Alright. You obviously paid 20. What do you mean, what blood? It's raining outside. Newman, so why are all the worried posts about overcrowded servers? That's a good question, actually. That's the first good question. We're making increasingly alarmed and urgent posts about servers like Herod or Shazra in Europe. Yeah, and everyone went to Firemo. It's the club, everyone. Go. Everyone left Shazra now, and Shazra is okay, perfect. And everyone went everywhere else. It's really more just trying to spare people on those servers the frustration and hardship of having to relocate at a moment's notice on Monday. It's really more just trying to spare people on those servers the frustration and hardship. How did my frustration and hardship was spared by moving out of Shazra? Or anyone who moved out of Shazra? Or anyone who moved to any of the new servers? With the exception of the latest threat mist. I think that when people see logging queues to an extreme extent, or in some cases aren't even able to get in queues because the queues are full, which is a phenomenon that has never been seen in WoW before, but may well be seen on those two servers. They will move. The problem will solve itself. There are enough servers out there to support the number of people who want to play. In PvPQ, there were over 100,000 people. Even if we put them on the two low servers English, it's not enough. That means they have to go in other languages. But for various reasons, whether it's because your favorite streamer is on a specific server or any kind of higher community, like a subreddit, or they decided to all pick a single server to focus on, there are some servers that are simply full, well beyond the capacity we'll be able to support. Just like your damn medium servers. We'd like to encourage players to branch out and move around now so they can just hop in and play instead of having a hop in. Realize that they're not going to be able to play that evening because they are so far behind in the queue, and start talking to their friends and trying to convince them to move to other servers. Yeah, they did that. They did that. And every time the servers are being filling up. So the process is not really working here, is it, Ion? We'd like to... what is the actual cap? It's a very high number. I don't actually remember off the top of my head. I want to say it's something like 30,000. The longest queue I've seen in the live game at something like the Wars of Warlords launch were something like 7,000 or 8,000. Omega LOL! That's actually not a bad queue to be in now. That's actually not a bad queue to be in. Oh, I'm 8,000 in your face, you're 19,000. Once you're into the realm of high digit queues, if you come home from work and you see that, what that basically means is that you're not playing the game tonight on this server. Whether you are 12,000 in line, or 19,000, like me, or not even in line because the line is full, all those are more or less the same reality. True. You just can't play. That pressure will cause populations to spread out to servers that can accommodate them. One of the things we've been trying to message very proactively is there are no low population servers currently. There are no underpopulated servers currently. There are healthy servers, jam-packed servers, and just insanely crowded. Unplayably overcrowded servers, and that's just a range of options to choose among. With people to move from the last category to the first category, but no one is going to find themselves without thousands of people around them to play with, and likely more people that were in typical server back in 2005, 2006, even amongst the most popular servers. But that's not true. We just made some simple, quick math. That even if everyone moved to Dreadmist, if the queues are 30,000 on the top of his head, that means, right, that server will have approximately 100,000 queue. 100,000. No. It says, I don't remember what's the actual... Q cap. Sorry, you're right. It's a Q cap. Q cap. Apologies. So, how much is the server though? I don't think it's 100,000, 130,000 people. Because that's how approximately how many people are in queue right now. About 130k. If not more, and it's gonna keep increasing. Right? So if there are so many people in queue, I don't think one server, Redmist, can support that. Yeah. Alright. How many people are on servers now as compared to a typical high population realm on the original World of Warcraft launch days? Much more. That's why we have this sense of alarm around Herod and Shazra. I think the server capacity was something like 3,000 concurrent logins by late Classic. That number's gone up steadily over time as our hardware capacity improved and as the world of Azeroth has grown larger. So yes, when you're talking about 5-digit numbers waiting in line to enter the world, that's enough to fill a couple of servers. So, about 15,000, yeah. Which is why we're bringing servers online and encouraging folks to move. So, 100,000 people in queue. Now, I'm bad at math. 130,000. 1, 2, 3. Divided by 15,000. Well, the answer is not Red Mist. Expected an alphabetical answer. Alright. We are waiting for the servers that we open and are ready to get to a medium high population state before opening yet another one. There is no clear reason for us to benefit to us of opening multiple additional servers while the available ones are still sitting there unfilled. There is no clear reason to us or benefit to us of opening multiple additional servers while the available ones are still sitting there unfilled. Available ones is just one server now. And the rest that you mentioned were filled. How big is a single layer? What's the end target you're shooting for each server? Each layer is effectively going to be what a healthy server was at launch in 2004 in terms of the number of people it holds. You log in a layered world and it's going to be very, very crowded. People will fan out and you'll be teaming with players all over the place, and those who get a head start and make it into Barnes or make it into Westport initially will have a little bit of breathing room, but it's going to feel very populous. We are going to preserve the traditional experience. I think you can view it as effectively just as running multiple classic launch servers 2006 era in parallel with the intent of collapsing them into a single one over the course of a few weeks. I don't know. I don't know. Verdox, were you? That's pretty awesome. Hello. I'm no longer upset. I'm disappointed. Did you, Verdox? Can we see it? Can you post it on Discord? And no, because that's what I did. I rushed first to play the game, and I got disconnected 3-4 minutes after I logged in. Maybe classics are. We'll have to wait for a week. But at least don't be condescending. I feel this was patronizing the community. Didn't you feel that? Didn't you feel that they were patronizing the community? Here, read this. A fairly steep drop-off compared to the day one interest. That won't be so steep. And why not put faith into the game? Why be this aggressively realistic if you're not, they are trying to make the argument as to why they're putting in so few servers, but they are being pessimistic about the game. Now let me ask you this. Let me ask you this, guys. When Blizzard was first showing the server, when Blizzard was first introducing Classic to the world, vanilla, were they saying, "Oh, here's a game, not many people will play it"? Is that what they were saying? Or were they saying the best game that will ever come? The best game ever? When they were promoting World of Warcraft Vanilla, the first one, in 2000, prior to 2004, right? Were they saying these words? I'm being honest now. Were they saying this? Oh, yeah, we confirm it's going to be a play WoW, but it's going to be a fairly steep of the population. Were they saying that? No, because it's their product, they want to promote it. What does this tell me? That they trying to support an agenda of not being behind the game 100%. Yes or no? Imagine you have your own product that you're going on Forbes magazine telling there will be a fairly steep drop. That makes no sense. Imagine, yeah guys, join the cheapest airline ever. There might be a fairly steep drop on the plane at some point, but we're gonna get you there and you're gonna have fun. Who is gonna go up to that plane? Let's... Oh my god, that's an amazing picture. Look at this selfie. While I was doing my... Nice. Thank you for sharing. So, again, they're not supporting their own game. I was talking about the marketing approach and all these things, but who has their own product and promotes it like that? Golf, the Volkswagen. We have a new technology, TDI, very low emissions, but we're fairly sure that in a few years we'll be caught cheating. Who promotes a product like that? If their own product is not promoted by themselves, who is gonna promote it? Someone needs to make a video out of this. Seriously. Someone needs to make a video with showing Classic and then showing that, but don't play the game, you're gonna get, people will stop playing it. That's what insulted me. Ooh, Norzio, not that word. Not the R word, please, thank you. And Bang Bang, thank you for the... Yeah, no, it's against the terms of services. Thank you, Bang Bang, for your gifted sub. No worries. How am I supposed to play this game? When someone is reading and be like, oh, it's that kind of game. I'm like 18,000. Yes, but if the company, it's like, let me tell you this. I'm gonna tell that a bit from my experience, and it's gonna be a bit personal, right? Something happened in my neighborhood, and a parent was blaming me for something I did. The other parent, some neighbor. He comes to my parents, and they said that. And the first reaction of my parents, instead of defending me, was that I was at fault, which actually proved that I wasn't. But imagine my parents' first reaction was that I was at fault. I felt betrayed. I expected for they to have my back, or at least try to find out what happened. Right? This is how it feels. This is how it feels. Have a good one, Verdogs. Yeah, but that's... Let's say they failed... Guys, let's say they failed in everything. Let's say they failed in everything. Okay? They didn't predict the queues, they had a bad management. People make mistakes. All the time. Let's say everything went wrong. They're not even behind the game. They're not even supporting the game. They don't even have high hopes for the game. What does that tell you? That's what I'm most upset about. No, Zelena did not. I was one of the few people who believed Blizzard. It won't happen what happened in 2004. They said that in the interview, and I was like, yeah. And I remember you talking, maybe, I am naive, but I was there. I was there, I wanted to believe. I wanted to believe in something. I mean, of course. I mean, look at all the subscriptions rising, right, Antonym? But do you think they went into the... Again, my problem is not what's happening at the moment. After reading all this article, I kept thinking about this paragraph. The game is not good enough, so people will stop playing it. That's what I was thinking throughout the article. And maybe some mistakes when I was thinking and I was saying something else in my head. It's not about the nostalgia class, it's their own product. It's their own product. It's like me not believing that my dog will sit down when I tell him to sit down in front of strangers and I try to show off. I believe he will. Maybe he disappoints me, but I support him and I try to... I don't know. It's your baby. Let me raise another point. Have you ever met of those rich kids which they have thousands of toys? Listen to this. A kid with thousands of toys, and the mom says, can we give some of the toys to the poorer kids that you don't play with? And you know what the rich kid says? No, it's mine. I don't want to play with this toy because it's a shitty toy, but I don't want anyone else to play with it. Does that remind you of something? Does that remind you of something? What does it remind you? Private servers. This is it. I'm giving you the best analogy I can. They don't like the toy. Obviously, someone is forcing them money to do it. And I don't care what's forcing them. But support the game. Support the game. And if you don't want to support the game, let others do it. I don't understand. I'm ranting now, but come on. No, it's too late. It happened already, Zelen. That's the problem. It's like I threw a grenade, it exploded, and then I have to pick up the shards and put up the grenade back as it was. It's too late. It's really hard to recover from this, Zelen. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Yeah, like what Harry Blink says. Like, get a sense of the demand. Right? That's all we're saying. They didn't do that. We're not judging from what they do onwards. Is that a big company, a multi-million, billion-dollar company, which, by the way, Call of Duty was cost, with today's money, $292 million to make. By Active, that was the most expensive game ever made so far. This is the company that we're talking about behind this. Great game. Put money in it, got a great game out of it. They made Destiny. Look at them. They have so many expensive games. And let me put World of Warcraft. Look at the development. If we go alphabetically here. How about the publisher? Look at it. On the list, 3 Activision. This is a company. Why can you not support a game that made Blizzard? How arrogant is that? Okay, let me give you another example from where I'm coming from, the angle I'm coming at this. Which song made Justin Bieber? Just try not to get ahead. Which song made Justin Bieber? Was Baby Baby? Yeah. Now imagine if Justin Bieber comes out, right, and says that song is shitty. Whoever likes this song is a cheater. I'm exaggerating now. But imagine how the fans would feel. The song that made him be, right? See you, Celtic. The song that made him be, he comes back and disrespects it. That's what Blizzard did. The game that made them be, come out and say they're not confident in success? I need to find a word for this. How do we call this? Patronizing? Condescending? There it is. Apparently kind or helpful, but betraying a feeling of superiority, condescending. Looks helpful, kind. Oh, sexy, long time. How have you been? The Hunter. Players with an active or game time on their account can reserve their character name by creating up to 3 or What is this? No. Updated. To what? Oh, we have new servers. I see new servers here. Look, Australia got 2 more servers. Or where is Europe? Ah. Okay. Don't see it here. Do you have the link somewhere, please? Hello, Lucas. I know, Vukex. I know, Vukex. That's what I've been saying. Me, I'm not telling you what you got. Exactly. They fucked up. No, they're not trying to contain any fire, Meat and Bones. They're trying to contain the fires in the Amazon. And just like the Brazilian president refuses funding or refuses help. Stubborn. Wouldn't be much different from this one. Will be much different from this one, Sven. What do you mean again? I haven't slept, guys. I haven't slept. Because, you know, I'm a true gamer. I played those 3 long hours. Right. I played 3 long hours a game. And I met that level 5 priest after 3 hours. And I was level 6 after 1 hour after that. No, I'm gonna go to bed. I just this might hurt my Twitch career. I don't know. The most important thing, I feel like this community feels the way I feel. More or less. My coffee is full. I didn't finish my coffee. Like, it cannot be fixed, Sabotage. It cannot be fixed. Example. You tell 200,000 people to camp in a space of 10,000 people. Right? Then you open new camps, but already some people camped there. And new. And eventually, what are they gonna do? Keep taking out the camps? Keep, you know, destroying the buildings they built? They should have instead realized how many people are. Right? It's not about the service anymore, Sampotage. It's not about the service. People don't wanna leave. It's probably not hard for them. But people don't wanna leave. They leveled, they committed, their friends are there. Imagine this, you didn't level, your friend there is level 13 after so many hours and struggles. Will you be able to convince your friend to leave to go play somewhere else with you? With the promise that there won't be queues? They did that so much, and there's still queues. No, Vukex, we did the math now. There are at the moment over 130,000 people in queue. Now, with so many servers. That went 100k. That will have been more like 400k plus. I got disconnected. What do you mean? You are not in queue ever? 18. I haven't slept yet. My whole group got disconnected, Noah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna sleep now. I'm 18. I only did 18. I mean, 4.5 hours last night. And now this. I have to? What do you mean? I need to take advantage of this. For 420. Oh, who cares? At this point, I can't even play the game. At this point, most people are spending more time in queue than in game. Yeah, about 2K, that's a layer. That's a layer being crashed. I honestly don't care about the MC race now, number 1. It's not fair. Yeah, I'm probably gonna go to bed now soon. Don't say the R word, please, Prob. I'm just gonna delete that, just giving you a heads up. Mental health. And all. The R word. Terms of services. Thank you for understanding. Anyway, I wanna get some rest. I'm sorry for ranting. I just... When I say I'm sorry, I don't mean I'm sorry because you had to listen to my yells, not Blizzard. I'm gonna go get some bets. So I'm gonna host Esfand. Say a big hello to Esfand from me. And thank you for being here, and yeah, I will see you tomorrow. No, I'll see you as soon as I wake up and start playing.
I think we both typed in our emails.
Say hello to Esfand from me.
If you type in your emails, it doesn't work. You have to use Battle.net.
I love you all. Don't forget to support the
typed in-
channel.
we typed in our
Follow
emails
the
and
channel.
like actually
Follow
logged
the
in
channel.
and
Turn on the
see what's
notifications.
happening.
Love you. Thank you for all the support.
Yeah, man, I had bad luck too.
Yeah.